Hi everybody, welcome, it's Narayani here. Really good to be back. Welcome to all of my existing loyal subscribers and anyone who's new, anyone who's newly subscribed or just stopping by to have a look. Thanks basically for your attention. Thank you also for everyone who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented. Even your dislikes, you know me, I like to give you messages that are a little bit different, so if it rubs some people up the wrong way, I'm happy about that. And also thank you, a special thank you to everyone who actually called up and gave a missed call to the Rally for Rivers campaign that I mentioned in my last video. I've taken it down now because that was just a very special video for that time. And I'm doing something a little bit different now. This is actually the treble cross spread. Those of you who have followed me for a while will know what it is. But I've decided to do it. I usually do it with oracle cards. I've decided to do it with Rider-Waite tarot cards. But it's the same spread. So this side is for the divine masculine, recent, past, present, future, advice and how they feel towards the union. This is the union. This is the divine feminine. So we've got recent, past, present, future, advice and how they feel towards the union. And those are the underlying energies there. I was also guided to mention, I had a comment about my nails in the last video, thank you very much. And actually when I was getting them done, it's, oh by the way, it's black shellac with peacock chrome on top. Just so that you know, because that's what the question was. When I got them done, I asked for a sign when I was at the nail bar basically, and I was like, just all of a sudden the music went quiet and I was like, okay fine, give me a sign. And then the next song that came up was a song called Running by Naughty Boy, a producer called Naughty Boy, featuring Beyonce. It's an absolutely gorgeous song and it was very much a confirmation to me, because the lyrics are amazing and it was very much like a message from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, or actually both of those energies are just kind of running back home really towards one another and towards ourselves. So have a listen to, I'll try and find the link and stick it in the comment box below. It's a beautiful song, but the lyrics, you must check it out because it's definitely a message for some of you guys as well, which is why it was mentioned in the comments for the last video. Okay, so on with the reading. So let's go to, where was the divine masculine in his recent past? And we've got this, which is the Four of Cups. Here, this is basically reflecting the fact that a lot of divine masculines have decided, you know, to do a little bit of running. Like they don't want to see what's being offered to them. They're kind of quite adamantly sitting there and focusing on their own kind of they're being stubborn basically. They're seeing what they stubbornly want to see. That was in the recent past and they weren't budging, and it's basically signifying stuckness, a certain stuckness in their situation. Where are they right now? We've got the Ten of Swords, and they're feeling betrayed, they're feeling exhausted, they're feeling just at some degree they are feeling like they can't go on. This is a very general reading, do bear that in mind. So there are lots of people who are at different stages. I've asked that each person has at least one message from the reading, but how much it resonates with you, that's up to you to kind of decipher. But here, this is basically the end of a cycle. It's very much the end. It's a sign of completion. And rather than, for some people, the divine masculine will be feeling like this. For other people, this is basically the divine masculine's ego. It's the end of a certain level of power that the ego has had over the divine masculine's life. So for many people the swords will have won, but for many people the swords would have won in the sense that the divine masculine's highest, you know, the mind in its highest capacity, which can be quite helpful, it's kind of succeeded in cutting through what's right and what's wrong, and it's kind of defeated the lower self. So for some people, the powers of reason, you know, very often when I look at tarot spreads, people only ever see swords as like a bad sign. And that's not the case, you know, like they signify a lot of, you know, the mind can be our best friend, and thoughts and mental capacities can be our best friend if we use them in the right way and don't let them run away with us. And for those people who have managed to use their thoughts, those divine masculines who have really, really used their reason to put their fears essentially to death, and put their fears, you know, aside, and have really, really conquered them, they're going to be very much at this place much sooner than those who are kind of going through the way of feeling like they're victims. So the ones who have used the swords to their mental thoughts to their you know, benefit, you've got this. You've got one of the kind of archetypal twin flame cards. You've got the Two of Cups. The divine masculine is going to be the one that, you know, the reward for those who have fought their battles successfully is going to be the Two of Cups. This is also, I'm seeing that this is even the ones who are kind of currently in a state of really feeling betrayed. Many of them will be feeling betrayed and disillusioned because of karmic relationships, and they're going to see the twin flame relationship as kind of the balm that's going to soothe them, and they're going to see that for what it is. So all of you out there, it's very, very important that divine feminines especially really are careful with their thoughts, in the sense, believe in the highest, believe that what you want to happen is actually possible, and that's going to help it come in. Like, don't give way to your fears. Try and see everything in as positive a light as you can. Try and see everything as a gift. Try and see everything, or try and find the gift in every situation, I should say. And this is there for everyone. This is a possibility for every single divine masculine. Whatever they're going through right now, it's going to bring them closer to this. For many, many people, because the union energies are just so strong at the moment, this is going to be there as a physical reality. I don't know which, you know, who that's going to be true for, because for some people this is going to be on the spiritual level. For so many people, and a lot of you guys watching this, it's going to be in the physical. But the other thing you have to remember is with swords, they're very mercurial energies. They're very much kind of, if you make one decision, it can be, you can go one way. If you make another decision, you can go another way. So it's nothing to be afraid of, but the more you can kind of see the best happening, the more likely that will be to happen. But just know that the energies, they're changeable with swords. They're the most changeable out of all the kind of energies, the mental energies. So what's the advice for the divine masculine? I think this is great advice. You've got the King of Pentacles. Be grounded, be abundant, believe that abundance is going to be there. You've got to be strong like the bull here. I'm seeing a bull, I'm being shown a bull in the background and in his chair and his throne. I'm seeing an owl here, so he needs the wisdom of the owl and the strength of the bull. And just the belief that he is powerful, is abundant, and is kind of really, really rooted in the earth. Can you see how many plants, and kind of there's a stone castle in the background. So very, very, very much he has to be kind of connect with the powers of the earth almost, and very, very, you know, root chakra issues. So things to do with survival and strength and belief, and, you know, overcoming the fact that he can overcome any fears that he may have, like any doubts, self-confidence rather than doubts. That's going to really, really help him to feel secure and counteract those kind of piercing swords that are coming his way, like mental energies that are coming his way. So divine masculines watching this, please channel your inner King of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting, like how that's going to help you towards the actual, you know, how you're feeling towards the actual union. 3 cards kind of popped out, and you've got the Eight of Swords. So for many people on this path, they are going to want to progress towards the union, but they don't know how. They're feeling very, very bound. And I'm feeling that this is people that are still, these are masculines that are still kind of in this kind of Four of Cups phase, you know, this one here. They are the ones that aren't feeling how, you know, they just don't know how they're going to progress. This is also pertaining to people who are at this stage, the Ten of Swords, but the ones that are feeling like they are just exhausted, that there's nothing they can do. If you're feeling like a victim, you need to realize that, you know, you might think that you're a victim, but that's because you can't see the bigger picture. If you could see the bigger picture, she would know that, you know what, she could just free herself on any of these swords and walk off. Like the path is clear in front of her. But so those of you divine masculines who are at this stage but they have overcome their lower self, you're the ones that are going to be able to cut yourself free by using a sword. It's your mind, it's your discrimination, your ability to use your mind to discriminate between right and wrong, between what benefits you and what doesn't benefit you, what's real and what's illusionary. You're the ones that are going to be able to get out of this. That will lead you to this kind of Queen of Cups phase. Many people are already on here, the ones that have already gotten rid of the lower self, you know, gotten him out the way. You're already here. You're kind of at this really abundant emotional place of real, I'm seeing real contentment and happiness and actually bliss. There are divine masculines who are very much kind of, they've done the balancing, they're actually here already, and they are really enjoying some material benefits too. I'm seeing a lot of the divine masculines have been doing really well in their careers or in other goals that they've set for themselves. They've achieved it, and also in the higher realms they've done it, they've achieved it, like they've made really, really great progress. So well done. That's going to really, really help the unions for many people. And then some people are just kind of starting out at this kind of immature Page of Cups kind of place. So, you know, it depends on what stage you're at, but this is also a very good omen. I'm seeing this is almost like the Fool, that kind of energy, like full of love, full of hope, full of enthusiasm for many, many people, many, many divine masculines. So each of these can refer to that Two of Cups energy as well. I'm getting the ones who are at this kind of stage of innocence and belief, kind of like childlike strength, and also the red here, I'm really seeing manifestation. They have a very strong power of manifestation. They're very likely to be in this Two of Cups energy as well. That's very available to them right now. So lots going on for the divine masculine, and different things for different waves, or if you want to call them waves, but just different individuals in different unions. So again, this is a general reading. If you want anything more specific to you, book a reading. So if you want. In terms of the union energy, actually I'm going to come back to the union energies. Let's go to the divine feminine first. Where the divine feminine was, she did have the sun. So what does that mean? Some very good things, some very great breakthroughs have happened for the divine feminine. It might not feel like that for everyone, but the light has definitely got through. It's kind of activated many people. You know, the sun activates seeds when they're buried within the ground, so you don't know anything's happening, and meanwhile the roots are setting, you know, getting longer and longer, deeper and deeper, and then before you know it, something's sprouting out on the surface. But know that the work happens below the scenes. Weirdly enough, a lot of things have happened at various, so this is pertaining to solar eclipses, a lot of full moons and stuff that have happened in the past, but they have had a really, really positive effect on both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. But especially so in this reading, it's being highlighted for the divine feminine in terms of the messages. So anyone that feels like they're stagnating, that feels like things aren't happening, that they're not progressing, you are. Rest assured that you are. Don't worry about it. Where are you right now? Five of Swords. A battle has been won and you've actually got trophies for it. So really be thankful that, you know, you've overcome inner demons. You're at a stage where you can actually enjoy what's happened, in the sense, enjoy your victories. Be thankful. I'm getting it's very much a time to take stock of what you have done. Anyone that's kind of taken for granted how far they've come. A lot of people are kind of very, very close, and you know, sometimes when you're running like a long distance race or something, you see the finish line and it kind of makes you want to it makes you feel more tired, and sometimes you want to give up a little bit more for some people, and that's how it is for some of the divine feminines right now. It's actually a time to really take stock, give yourself a pat on the back and reward yourself. You know, this guy's actually picking up other people's swords. You might be really, really tired, but you should be grateful, you should be thankful, and you should be proud of yourself. Even though you might be really tired and you might not feel like celebrating or anything like that. You might just want to complain. It's easy to complain when you're feeling, you know, you've just been through the wars. But there's another side to that as well. So overcoming inner demons, focus on that and all the good things that you've done. Where the divine feminine's going to be, what I'm getting from this Nine of Wands card is, you know that you've come far. You know that you've got all this good stuff behind you. You've got a lot of strengths, and you've got a lot of benefits from being on this journey. And a lot of evolution has happened, but you're not that happy. There's still a sense of fear, a sense of clinging on to something that you don't need to cling on to too tightly. So that's something to be aware of that could be there in the future for the divine feminine, interestingly enough. A sense of apprehension, probably when this Two of Cups energy comes in. That's what I'm actually getting. Almost like, oh, I'm not sure. It's a lack of trust. It's a kind of what's the word? A concern, a distrust, something like that. But, you know, does it need to be there? What does your intuition tell you? But some feminines might want to question the connection or run away, or, you know, there's a sense of fear that's there. So question that. What is the advice card? We've got the Devil upside down. So what this means is, don't let your fears control you. Don't let your don't let your fears control you. Don't let your, you know, don't cling too tightly to anything. Don't desire a particular outcome too much. All of the usual things that, you know, don't fall for temptation. That's another thing. And you see here, the right way up, the Devil and all the things that he kind of represents is on top. But, you know, upside down, it's a good sign. He's on his way out. So it's the people, it's the individuals that are kind of on top. So that's what the advice is. Many people might be, when these feelings of conflict, these feelings of distrust and concern, when they come up, don't give them your energy. And for a lot of people, I do feel like they will kind of come up, but don't worry about them. And if you can successfully do that, use these energies to kind of see them for what they are, these concerns. Don't repress them. See them, but don't be afraid of them. Let them go. Know that, you know, the Devil can only have as much power as you allow him to have in many ways. So give the power to the divine, to the universe, to whatever the opposite of the Devil means to you, to love, the opposite of fear. And then, you know, how you're going to feel towards the union. You've got the Three of Pentacles, which is a very traditional card. In this reading, it means tradition. And you've got another fantastic card. You've got the Ace of Cups, like one of my absolute favourites to see in any kind of twin flame reading, in any reading in general. But what that means here is you will be that font of love, that overflowing amazingness if you just let go of these fears. You've got nothing to, this is what you're fearing, not having that here. If you get rid of those fears, the only thing you're left with is this. That is the basic message. Now let's go to the union energies quickly. Recent past, you've got the Four of Wands upside down. I don't know how that ended up upside down, and you've got the Magician. What this says is whatever situation you're in right now, you are responsible for creating it. And a lot of people I know like to say, oh, it's the energies, it's my twin, it's this, it's that. Actually, no, the number one person it is a co-creation, but the number one person who's responsible for how things are is you. So if you want this upside down Four of Wands to be the right way up, you have the power as the Magician to flip it. How do you do that? This is a general reading, don't really have that much time. If, I can always do a private reading for you, or you can come and speak to me for a counselling session. I have started doing them, and I will be doing readings. I don't always do readings, I don't always do sessions because my job doesn't let me always have the time, but I will be doing them for the next 2 weeks. So if that's something that you want to do, definitely get in contact with me, email me or something. Where is the union right now? We've got good old Nine of Swords upside down. What does that mean? Have you noticed how the Devil's upside down? For many divine masculines with the Ten of Swords, they've overcome a lot of bad things, bad thoughts. And here we have the Nine of Swords upside down as well. This is a period where a lot of twin flame unions are going to get rid of a lot of their own mental prisons. They are going to break out of those mental prisons and take the power back for themselves, basically. So a lot of illusory kind of circumstances that we think trap us, they're going to go. And the more those things are dissolved and broken down and dismantled, the more union energies we have, the closer to, the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups we will go. So we're doing that slowly. Again, remember, this is a general reading. Where is the union likely to go? We've got the Page of Wands, so we're going to really start manifesting. Ironically enough, the strong manifestation energies that we had before with the Magician at the bottom created situations that maybe weren't, because a lot of people are still in separation and they're only just starting to get back into the union energies. That's the transformation that's happening. Remember, I said swords are energies that can change very, very quickly. So anyone who still feels like, whoops, that they're in this mental prison, it's easy for you to flip that and get rid of those thoughts. All you have to do is change your thinking. And that will lead us to a place of being in the Page of Wands kind of energy, and the Page of Wands is starting to consciously manifest the reality and creates the reality that he wants for himself. So if you're not, many people have very powerfully created the circumstances that they are in, that their union is in at the moment. They're starting to break free from the shackles and they're starting to manifest. They're going to start manifesting unions. They're going to start manifesting the circumstances that they want for themselves. So that's a great energy to have. Oh, and look, the Hierophant, another really traditional marriage card, is just behind the main underlying energy card, which was the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords here is using your mind in a brave way, in a conscious way. Again, he's very, very quick. He's very powerful. He can be impulsive as well. So be careful where you're swinging that sort of thought around. You don't want to cut down things that you don't want to cut down, but for most people, he's wielding it with power, he's wielding it with control, he's wielding it quickly with expert precision. And the more we can use that to our benefit, we're learning to really use it and not be afraid of our powers as well. So pushing ourselves to the limit, many of us, and really seeing how far we've come. Also, the Knight of Swords, he is destroying those mental prisons. He's destroying those mental demons, those inner demons. It's a great time to study, you know, philosophy. I'm a huge fan of like Hindu philosophy. I write about that in my blog, and it's times like that. It's kind of mythology, and really seeing a lot of these kind of new agey divination methods, mythology, things like that. See it as a means to kind of look within yourself, apply them in the ways that you should to your own life, and benefit from it yourself. It's an art. It's a real art. And if you want to get better at that, again, I'm available for sessions. That's something that I can help you with. Okay, I think that we're done for the moment, so I will be back with another reading soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me until the end. I really